Welcome to Watercolor with Susie. Today we're going to learn how to do a butterfly because it's such a powerful process of the metamorphosis. These are the supplies you need: a piece of paper. If you have watercolor paper or thicker paper, it's better. Any kind of set of watercolors. This is my travel watercolor set. A brush, water, paper towel or a napkin, and a pencil. We're going to start out by having our paper in portrait mode, so the taller bit is best. And then I'm just going to do a quick outline sketch of my butterfly. So something like this, because I really want to highlight a couple of the wings. And then here's the lower wing with a sort of a long tail. It's just a generic butterfly from my head. Now the butterfly also wants to have a head and a little bit of a body shape. And then here I'm going to do some sort of a flower is what I'm looking at here. There's also a second wing, and it's going to kind of come in the back. What I love to do is work very wet in wet. So what this means is I'm going to wet my paper first. This is watercolor, if you remember. So I'm going to wet my paper in all of the spaces where I want the color, because the color is going to run in this wet space that I have identified as my wet in wet space. So I'm going to wet it here, and I want to have a lot of softness over in this area as well. So another thing that I love to do when I'm doing my watercolor is I love to use different colors straight from my color palette, and I love to mix them on my paper. So this is my starting wetness. I've generally wet all of my areas. One of the things to be careful of, I should have said before, I have sections or shapes, and I am keeping sections separate from each other. I'm going to start with a purple. So I'm mixing. I said I like to mix my color right in. I'm going to have purple, which is a combination of the blue and the red, and that's going to be my base color. So it's going to be more of a purple. So I'm going to mix right over here a purple color, and I'm going to begin to lay this purple color on my edges. This purple is the highlight. You'll notice because I have water on my paper, it flows. It flows. It's a little bit uncontrollable, and I love that because I take what I get and I put my color down here in my, I'm just blocking out my shapes, and I'm trying to have the dark bit be here on my wings. And I always want to have some of the color in every part of my painting. So I'm just going to let this flow, and I'm going to add a lot of water to that because I want it to be soft color. And this is going to be my flower area down here. And I'm just laying a bottom layer. Then I'm able to put some of the other colors. So I do have red in it, and I want to have some red spots. And I don't mind having a very strong color because watercolor is such that as it dries, it softens a little bit. So I'm okay having some deep colors in some of the places where I want it. Now this is my deeper area of this butterfly wing, and when I've used the color is when I begin to put it off in the second wing and also over here in my flower area. So I'm keeping these two areas softer, and I'm keeping my deep color. I'm going to put every one of my colors into this space down here in the lower part of this wing where it almost attaches to the butterfly body. And I'm just layering those colors in there. And I'm going to just take some orange, and this is a deeper orange, and so I can lay it next to the red quite nicely. And you'll notice that it's mixing. I don't really have complete control over what's happening here, and I'm going to just take what I can get. With this flower, I'm doing some just small circle patterns here. That's what I want. And over here, like I said, I'm doing a lot of extra water. I'm just having really soft, shadowy bits here. Then I'm going to take some, let's take some of this green, kind of a wild color. Now, green and red are opposite colors, so wherever they go together, I'm going to get a deep patch. And every time I do my color, I'm just mixing it very strong, remember, down in this bottom sector here. And just trying to attach in some of the spaces to give a little bit of definition with that color there. Oop, I forgot to give a little spot of that green there. Another thing I really love to do when I have strong color on my brush is flick it. So you notice I got some strong color there, and I'm just flicking some color so I have just some spots. And because it's wet, it's gonna go randomly in a way that is just going to end up going where it wants. So here I am deepening my color. If I had extra time, which I don't in my 10 and 10 minutes here, I would do, I would let some of these sections dry and then I would emphasize it a little stronger. But since I'm working wet and I'm going to have to come up with whatever I come up with, I'll just take this. So I'm deepening my purple again. Into the body. I like the head of my body to be also deep and come up with a very similar color like what I have down here in this deep space. Yeah, this is just a really quick one, and hopefully you're getting the feel for some of the wet and wet technique of using watercolor and taking whatever you get in these areas. You're just taking, can you see the beginning of the wing shape here? And we've got our body shape here as well. All right, so again, I'm taking what I get here. And I might, after this, I might do a little bit more detail, and I can, after this dries and I put a little bit more detail in, I'll take a snap and put it on our WhatsApp channel, just so you can see what else can be done. But I would encourage you, I hope you're doing along with me here. You're doing along with me just an attempt at a butterfly. And I love the butterfly because of the process of the metamorphosis and the transformation that comes from an egg that has everything, just like we have everything we need for life and godliness in Christ. And then it goes through the caterpillar, a selfish phase, and then it goes into a cocoon. So it just allows itself to trust the process of what's to come, and love that. And then it comes out as a butterfly, and the butterfly is such a beautiful example. I'm going to put some bright in here now. So the butterfly is such a good example. The butterfly beautifies spaces and it multiplies out, and that's just really a great challenge. To me, I think that's one of the reasons why butterflies are so powerful to me in this season of life. Well, quite a few seasons of life since the metamorphosis theme that God gave Dan and I a while ago. So just doing a quick finish up here. Again, I'm just deepening up a few sections. I hope you can see just a general shape of what we've got going here with a butterfly. And you can do a lot with just a general shape like this. And I've just highlighted some of the places that I feel like, well, we've got something going here, and I'm just going to be happy with it. I'll just take some of the deeper color here and do a few splotches on my edges. This is one of my favorite parts of watercolor. Again, you just get what you get. And I hope this has been fun for you to just play a little bit with the color and do a water with color. And there's a little bit of Watercolor Butterfly by Suzie Potter. Thank you.